dimensional war. We are in a fifth dimensional war, and I'm going to try and explain a little bit about how some of the members of the Holy War operate logistically, how they think. And it's similar to chess, except not a normal game of chess. It's similar to an even bigger game of chess. It's all about pointing awarenesses. And, you know, if you have multiple chiefs and there's not enough Indians, then the game won't go the way that you need. And let me tell you why. Because if you point out a whole bunch of different problems, these problems won't get addressed because everybody else is just pointing out problems. Hey, the problem's over here, problem's over here, problem's over here. But nobody is working on fixing the problem. Now, everybody wants to be a queen, right? But, you know, you look in this game, there is no queen. So what I'm going to try and teach you is about tower warfare. Tower warfare is similar to, you know, I would say that it's like a Babylonian warfare strategy that has to do with canonization. And I'm pretty sure that it's also adopted by God and Jesus. It's very similar. We basically have to simultaneously win in this field as well as other fields. And I'm talking in the tower warfare, which is similar to chess, because it's about owning vectors when vectors are changed. It's about cellular energy infrastructure. When the energy in cells and vectors changes, we have to change our energy in our cells and vectors in order to change it back. Similar to moving a piece to get them into like another piece of theirs to be in check, right? The areas that which your pieces are checking them, can't be moved into. So they have to block the check, or, you know, move, or take a checkmate and lose the round. Because this is not a game that is won, but instead a game that's eternally going to exist. Because every time you win, there's another game right afterwards. That is the rule of fifth dimensional warfare. There's always more warfare. The front lines are only deeper until you get to the enemy lines and behind the enemy lines and so on and so forth, and more into their enemy lines forever. And even if you beat the enemies, there's more invisible enemies that you didn't know existed yet, because this is seriously how the universe works. Once you beat all visible enemies in the human spectrum, you go to microecology and alien spectrums. You go to wilderness spectrums. You go to the plant spectrums. You go to the animal spectrums. You go to the energy spectrums, where the energies from stars are naturally combating your tesseracts and war tools in fifth dimensional ways that are unseen, and all you're doing is waiting for the change in the tools. And when the tools change, then you research around the tool that was changed to find more. Basically, you're looking for gold at this point. And, well, over time, you end up being able to understand that this is an infinite thing. Now, what can we do to stop this infinite war? We can practice peace, but even practicing peace is a practice of resonant harmony takeover of vectors. No matter what, if you're alive, you're a part of this war. Now, you would go, no, it's not. You're just making peace. Yeah, at the same time, in microecology world, you could be destroying, you know, civilizations of microecologies by trying to hold stasis in the vectors that you wanted to hold stasis in, that which are seemingly peace to you. Right? The enlightenment is infinite, not finite. This is going to take forever for you to learn if you don't agree with me by now. And I don't mean forever, I mean a very long time, because you have to agree with me. You will agree with me one day. There's no real way out. Now, let's continue to talk about what I believe Jesus is doing. I saw in a vision recently. I shouldn't even say a vision. It wasn't a vision. It was more than a vision. It was me watching him. I was watching him move towers of energy around. Now, I want to talk about how the towers work in the first place. I knew it all instantly as soon as I seen it. The towers are all made differently by different people in different parts of the Holy War, different parts of the Holy Spirit. It could be done by you and me, or your elders, or your family line, or anyone really. And when they have functioning mechanisms, and they are offered to the Holy Spirit, to Jesus and God, when things are happening, like a bad thing is happening, Jesus can move a good thing into that area, and that good thing will stop the bad thing. But first, you need to know your kinetic energies. You need to know what kind of conglomeration that their tower is in. Now, their tower is going to be all kinds of kinetic energies, a mass of kinetic energies. And then what kind of kinetic energies are around that tower, supporting it? So if I move my piece up there, I'm not going to lose my piece. It's not going to, that's the state of fifth dimensional holy war right now. So the whole idea, it's more than peace. It's presence. It's countering darkness presence to counter evil. Countering it, stopping it, forcing it to stop. At least on our property. What they do within their encryption that we can't tell, that's different. Eventually we might find out that they were doing evils, and that's a whole different story too. But anyway, that's all I got for today on the fifth dimensional war. Have a good day. OMG Bomber out. Peace.